Hey, it's Dave from the Camera Store. Today we're talking all about frame rates. Today we're going to talk all about frame rates. Now, cameras over the years have grown exponentially when it comes to how many frames per second they can shoot. Way back in the day, it was as fast as your thumb could wind the film, so you're lucky to get 1 frame or 2 frames per second, which was just fine because you only had 36 shots at most to work with. Then they put power drives on those cameras and you could shoot 3 or 4 frames per second, and that was kind of like a miracle for certain things. Then we had the digital age where we started getting a lot faster, so we didn't have any mechanical process of moving film around. And we saw cameras like the old 1D series and stuff that would come up to 10 frames per second. That seemed to be the magic number for a lot of sports photographers. But nowadays, even entry-level cameras are capable of much higher frame rates than that. I mean, we're seeing cameras that shoot 20 frames, 30 frames, 40 frames per second, or even faster with some of these hyper cameras. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we were shooting with the brand new Sony A9 III, which is a very impressive camera, and it's capable of 120 frames per second. But it got us thinking, the results we were getting from that, how much would it change if we were shooting at half that, 60 frames per second, or 30 or 15? Can you still achieve the same kind of effect? Now, we found shooting shotguns and rifles was just way too quick to actually capture. So we went out and we were shooting some paintball. We found it to be a very interesting subject matter to shoot with these different frame rates. Now, the reason we chose paintball is that it's twice as fast as pretty much anything human powered. I mean, I can't throw a ball very fast at all, but even if I had a major league pitcher friend, I don't know if he could consistently throw a ball at the exact same speed for the exact same results to test amongst these different frame rates. So we found paintball to be a very good example and a lot of fun to shoot, but it really showcased what these different frame rates were able to achieve. Now, we started our experiment here at 6 frames per second, and the reason we chose that is that a lot of modern day cameras, pretty much every one of them at any price point, can shoot 6 frames per second. I mean, even the bare bones entry-level Canon R100 will shoot 6.5 frames per second. Now, when it comes to paintball, it's fast enough that it's really a game of numbers. I mean, you can just mash the shutter and shoot 6 frames per second for as long as you want while you're firing the paintball, and occasionally you get lucky and you get a good shot. But it's really a game of numbers to get that because you're really minimizing the opportunity to capture that very fleeting moment of something that happens for a split second. So we went up to 15 frames per second actually, because that sort of seems to be the top limit of any camera that shoots with a mechanical shutter. So what do? You get more than double your chances to capture that action, but we're still finding with paintball at that speed, we were still kind of getting the same hit rate. It was still very much a game of numbers to try and capture that. So what's next? Let's double that again. Let's go up to 30 frames per second. And you can see in these examples here, we're starting to see what I want to see and be able to capture multiple shots within the same sequence. So what's fun with modern day cameras is now we can double that frame rate again with select cameras. We go up to 60 frames per second. Now we're getting even more chances to select that perfect shot. All right, so we've played with 6 frames, 15 frames, 30 frames, and we're really seeing when it comes to shooting paintball, 60 frames per second is kind of that minimum level that's going to give me some multiple options per shot to work with. Now we're stepping up into the big leagues, into these hyper cameras now, and every brand has one. You have the capability of shooting up to 120 frames per second. This is really a very cool thing because it's almost scientific at this point when you're shooting at this kind of frame rate. And you can see as we're shooting paintball here, how many shots you have to choose from within a sequence that's only lasting a split second. Now, there's one more camera that goes even faster than that. The Canon R3 shoots at 195 frames per second. And you can see there is a big difference between 120 and 195 frames per second. So 195 frames per second is the fastest frame rate we were able to shoot with today. And the results we're getting from it allows you to take something that's so fleeting, like a paintball hitting a tree stump like this and getting that explosion of paint and being able to capture multiple frames of that to choose which one's going to be the best shot for you. Now, some of the frame rates we're talking about, 30 frames, 60 frames, 120 frames per second, sounds a lot like video frame rates. And absolutely, you can shoot these different frame rates for slow motion purposes when it comes to video. But why not just extract the still image? Why not just slow down your video, pause it, at the shot you want, and extract the still image from the video? Well, there's a few problems with that. One thing, the color depth isn't the same when it comes to video. Usually you're looking at 10-bit, where with still images, you're looking at 14 or 16-bit potentially with certain cameras. The other factor is the resolution. I mean, 4K video looks amazing on TV. However, 4K video is actually 8 megapixel still images stacked up at 30, 60, or 120 frames per second. So we give up a lot of resolution. Take the case of Nikon Z9s, for instance. So if I shoot 4K video in 60 frames per second on the Nikon Z9, I'm down to 8 megapixels worth of resolution of that still image extracted from the video, where I have access to 45 megapixels with 14-bit color out of the still side of the Z9. So what have we learned today? More is better. basically what it comes down to when it comes to shooting fleeting moments. And the faster and more fleeting the moment is, the more frames you have to choose from, the more chance we're going to get the shot that we really want. But how fast is too fast? I mean, I went through a personal experience a while back with the Canon R5 when it was announced. 20 frames per second I thought was lunacy. Nobody needed that for shooting sports. But I quickly found I started shooting it all the time. But I changed how I shot. Instead of just mashing down the shutter on my old 5D3, which shot 6 frames per second, and hoping for the best in a game of numbers like we were doing with the R100 and the paintball at 6 frames per second, I would feather my shutter only on the sequences that I was interested in. When my daughter was running down playing basketball and dribbling the ball, I would only push the shutter button down while she had the ball in her hand, not wasting frames while it was down on the ground. So it's interesting how higher frame rates are changing how I shoot certain subjects, because now I'm being more selective, but I'm getting more chances to get the keepers within that segment of shots. Now, we've had a lot of fun talking about frame rates, but all these cameras have different caveats, and learning your camera is really going to make a big difference. Your entry-level camera doesn't have as big of a buffer, so who cares if it can shoot 20 frames per second if it buffers out after a second or two and you've got a 5-second burst of action you want to capture. Cameras like the R3, which shoots 195 frames per second, is very impressive, but it only does it for 50 frames at that frame rate. So you have to time it, you have to work the system to make it happen for you. There's caveats with all these cameras to make these higher frame rates work, and it's well worth getting to know your camera and knowing your abilities as well. But having these extra frame rates in your life allow you to capture those fleeting moments better than ever before. Now, of course, I want to know what you guys think about frame rates. Is there the perfect frame rate, or have cameras just gone completely out of control? Make sure you leave comments down below. Follow us both on Instagram. It's Dave from the Camera Store. We'll catch you again next time. Hey, thanks for checking out this episode. If you want to check out more of our recent content, click up here. And if you're Canadian and you want to support local, check out thecamerastore.com down here.